Here's 5 great games you could play on your Steam Deck right now. Let's get into it. Here's one you weren't expecting, Overwatch 2. This game is pretty good on Steam Deck, really good frame rates, and it works out the box. I know everyone has their thoughts on Overwatch 2. I've been playing Overwatch since 2016. I was there day one and date on PS4, and I always jump back into this for time after time. I don't play it competitively, but I do enjoy this game more than most other FPSs. I'm not sure what that is. I have tried others, but Overwatch always brings me back in. And you know what? On Steam Deck, just playing a quick match is awesome. As you can see here, the gameplay is rock solid, and it is fun. It looks good and runs well on the OLED. And I can't really say anything bad about it. I know that there's always problems with Overwatch just from what you see on the internet, but don't let that dissuade you. Again, it's free to play. You can jump in, give it a go, and if it's not for you, you can jump straight back out. But as a free to play option, this is I think it's worthwhile, just to fill a gap in the FPS line, especially since some of the newer Call of Duties are unplayable on Steam Deck. This is a great alternative, and I prefer this over some of the other FPSs we've got. But if you think there's a better FPS that's free to play on Steam Deck, you let me know in the comments below what you would prefer. I mean, there's things like, I assume, Paladins, and I'm not too sure on others. I'm mind blanking, especially on the terms of hero shooters. I mean, there's CSGO, Counter-Strike 2, but I don't know, that's a really hard call, where this can be a little bit more pick up and play, which is sometimes good for the handheld, especially if you're just on the couch watching TV. You can just have a quick game of Overwatch and not worry too much about it. Maybe not competitive, but definitely if you're playing just some norms, you have a great time, and then jump into something else. Second game in our list is Aliens Fireteam Elite. This game is kind of under the radar, I'm going to be honest, and I don't think it should be. It's a great 3-player co-op shooter with a little bit of grinding involved if you like that. So basic overview, it's set in the Aliens universe. You go on missions, you're a colonial marine. You go do missions which reward you with XP and requisition points that then allows you to level up one of the 4 to 5 classes. And that will, as you progress through the story, it's going to get harder and harder. So you'll go back, redo missions, get some more items, gear up better, and then go back into the mission you're on and crack into it. There's plenty of story also in here, which from what I can gather online, people are pretty happy with where this stuff all leads to, and it also, expands out into books and all sorts within the main alien lore, which is, I think, pretty neat. And with the arrival of Alien Romulus coming out this week, what no better chance now to get into the aliens than with this game in particular. I really have played a little bit of co-op with this with one of my mates, but having a 3-player co-op game, I think, like this could be a lot of fun, all playing together in the same room. Crack open a beer, all sitting around the table with your Steam Decks playing Alien Fireteam, I think could be a really good time, especially with the hordes of enemies that it throws at you. It can get pretty hectic running around trying to keep them off you while also defending a point or pushing forward. And then when the bigger aliens arrive, like the warriors and stuff like that, it really starts to put this pressure on and make you want to go back and grind out just that next upgrade or that next weapon upgrade or that next class upgrade. And so each class plays slightly differently with different weapon loadouts and special abilities. Like some abilities will give your team extra damage or faster reloads, or With this class in particular, you also get to fire a laser beam, which does high damage. And you have a smart gun, which, I mean, who doesn't want one of those? And then you can just really crack into it. Now, let me know in the comments below if you've played Alien Fireteam before and if you enjoyed it, or if you think there's a better 3-player co-op game out there. I know what some people were thinking, and it starts with R. I'm not going to say it here because that might be in another video. So, without further ado, enjoy a little bit of Fireteam before we move on to the next video.
Take time to movement.
We've got to figure out what happened, and if that dragon is still skulking around somewhere.
I know, Skyrim. Now, there seems to be a love-hate relationship on the internet now about this game, but as a Steam Deck title, I mean, great battery life, game looks reasonably good. You also have the ability now with the new creations. I'm not sure if you're aware. I know some people don't like paying for creations, but with the new Bard expansion just releasing, there is like 10 to 15 hours of new content. I mean, that's fully voiced. There's just so much that Skyrim gives, and you're just getting so much content and value for money when this game's on special. I find it hard to pass up. And so it had to go on my list of great games to play on Steam Deck. You know, some people will say Morrowind's better. Some would say Oblivion's better. Some say Skyrim's great. It really is, you know, personal choice. But we're going to go with the last, I mean, if you don't count Elder Scrolls Online, the last mainline Elder Scrolls game, which is Skyrim. And I honestly... You know, I was there when this released back in 360, and it really stole my heart. And I used to be at work humming that main theme for hours on end, and I'm sure my boss thought I was crazy. And you know what? I probably am crazy. But this is going on my list whether you guys like it or not. But do let me know in the comments below if you think Skyrim is the wrong choice. But don't worry, there may be others showing up in another video. But, you know, Skyrim just has a lot of content, and then with, you know, you could say you could just use mods if you wanted to without using the creations, but I'm happy to pay modders that adds things to Creation Store because they deserve it, especially like the new stuff that's coming out that's really high quality. Especially this Bard's College expansion has really made a huge impact, I think, on the viability. You know, like if we got every 12 to 6 months another like Bard level expansion in Skyrim, this game will continue to flourish for years to come. And you know what, it makes me want to get back into trying to make a game, or even making a mod for Skyrim myself, or you know, like maybe that's a better place to start. But you know, you can throw this on your Steam Deck, play it on your smokos or your lunch break, or even on the couch while you're watching TV. It's just a nice chill game that you can pick up and play on Steam Deck, and it has a reasonable battery life, and so that is why it's on our list. With that, have a look at Skyrim again for the millionth time, and then we're moving on to our next game. This is our fourth game in our list, and this is another left fielder. This is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine. I was there back when this released on 360, just like Skyrim, and this has some great memories. Campaign, multiplayer, and everything in between. What you're looking at here is Horde mode, and I can never play this before this week. In the age of our Lord 2024, and so I was having a blast with that small resurgence of players before Space Marine 2 comes out later this year. I decided to go back and play the entire Space Marine campaign and then jump into some multiplayer. And I'm going to say it here right now, one of the best things about this, compared to our last game with Skyrim, you can get through this in a week. It is 7.5 hours long for the campaign, and then you can move on to whatever you want next. And I think that is one of the greatest things about this, is you can enjoy the story and put it down and move on to your next game, and it runs buttery smooth on the Steam. So if you're after a third-person action game, this is it. Third-person action shooter, I should say. The campaign follows Captain Titus of the Ultramarines as he deals with an orc invasion on a forge world, and there is mysterious things going on with that. There's more than meets the eye. I don't want to give away too much of the story. Again, it's only 7.5 hours. Surely you'll be able to get through it. And then if you want, you could jump into multiplayer. But my recommendation is not to worry too much multiplayer, because you're going to have Space Marine 2 taking that mantle in about a month's time. So it might be worth just jumping in to play through the campaign before jumping into Space Marine 2. So this is more of a one and done game for your Steam Deck, but I think it's still worthwhile. And as a massive Warhammer fan, you should do yourself a favor and put this on your machine and give it a good whirl. And without further ado, we are going to move on to our next video here and enjoy some more Space Marine before that. And here we are, the final video for our 5 great games that you should be playing on your Steam Deck is 7 Days to Die. I know this one is one of my latest videos, but I've been actually enamored with this game. I've put in over 16 hours so far, and I can't say anything bad about it. Like, I've had so much fun, like, just learning how to play, and even have started and have hired a server so me and my friend can play without having to both be logged in, without me or him having to be logged in to load our save. So that's how seriously I'm currently taking 7 Days to Die. I am paying for a server so we can play whenever we want, which is hilarious in my eyes. So if you don't know what 7 Days to Die is, it is a survival game. I know there's a million trillion of them with zombies, and on the 7th day, that 7th night, there is a wave of zombies that will attack you wherever you are, and you have to be prepared to survive that. Of course, you cannot have it on permadeath. You can have it on respawns, and you can just keep playing as much as you like. I think that's one of the nice things about this game is, even though you die, it's not the end of the world. You just go back, pick your stuff up, and carry on. I don't think there's any major penalties for dying, not that I'm aware of, unless you play, of course, in permadeath mode, which would be high stakes. I don't know how I'm definitely not ready for permadeath. But yeah, you just start off, you go collect something, you get your primitive armor, you make your stick and stone weapons, you go find the trader, you craft your first base, and basically you just go on quests, you go get loot, and you just keep building up your base to keep surviving that 7th day over and over again. And you survive or play for as many days as you think you can survive, and then maybe up the difficulty, start again and put the difficulty up one, or you go to keep moving into different zones to get more and more kinds of weapons and armor and loot. There is over 500 recipes. There's tons of ingredients. I think this is one of the for me personally, playing now 3 to 4 survival games for the channel. This one here and Enshrouded, so 7 Days to Die and Enshrouded, I think have the best onboarding for a new player in terms of understanding what to do, even though it still can be quite overwhelming with the amount of things you have to find, craft, and do. I think Enshrouded and 7 Days to Die both do a great job at onboarding you as new players. And so my recommendation here is, why not? I'm trying to have a spread of games. There's no racing games in this one, don't remind me. There will be in the next video. But I think that 7 Days to Die has a good, again, it's another pick up and play. You can play for an hour, you can play for 2 hours, you can kill some zombies, you build your base a little bit, and then you can log off. Of course, you don't need a server. You can play on your Steam Deck itself as a private save. So an internet connection is not required, which is really nice. But you can always, when you load up, tune your save into an online one for your friends to join you if you so desire. And of course, you can always join online servers that people have made if you want to do that. I don't really feel like making a base and then getting it attacked while I'm offline, so that doesn't interest me. But that PvP side of this game is also there if you're looking for that. So, what do you think of 7 Days to Die? Do you think this should be on the list, or another survival game would be better? Enshrouded is very close up there on my want list, so you might see that somewhere else, or I'll be talking about that again as they've had a major update. So, without further ado, if you like this video, give us a like, give us a sub, and let me know what my next 5 games you should play on Steam Deck should be. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.